What's up, you guys? This is Jay Young2 back with another video, and if you saw the title and a thumbnail, then, well, congratulations, you can process information really well. It's great to hear. But before this video starts, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. So, if you know, for the last several seasons now, ever since this Kawhi Leonard, Paul George era has started for the Clippers have not really had much success. They did make it to their first Western Conference Finals, about 3 years ago. And Paul George definitely proved himself in that series, as we all know, because there's been a stigma throughout his entire career of him not really being able to perform at the best sometimes in the postseason, and he definitely proved his way. But of course, the guy who we really haven't seen in a deep playoff run in the last several years now is Kawhi Leonard. I mean, it's either Paul George or Kawhi Leonard that's out. I mean, we all know this has been a consistent pattern for this Clippers team, and the reality is that's just what they've shown us. You know, people, we can say what we want, but the reality is that the Clippers have shown us over these last few years that they just can't stay healthy, that they cannot compete for an NBA championship. And this team, man, they've had arguably some of the deepest rosters over these last few years, and even still now, their team is very packed with many great talented role players on the roster. But I believe that this year is really their last finals chance. When you look at the Western Conference, I mean, it's already going to be tough this year in the West. You got the Lakers that are looking good. You still have the Nuggets. You got the Warriors. You have the Suns. You have several teams already that are going to be in that championship contention this year in the Western Conference. And the Clippers, well, you know, it could be a hit or miss that they even make it, you know, to the second round, for crying out loud. You know how good what the teams are in the West. And, well, I believe that this is their last chance. You know, Kawhi Leonard, he has solidified himself as an all-time great player. He's got 2 NBA championships, Finals MVPs. He's definitely proved himself as a great player, but with his time with the Clippers, it's been very, very disappointing. And you can say the same thing as well about Paul George. Both of them have not really fully lived up to the expectations. And, you know, I watched Paul George's podcast, and I remember him talking about, you know, the injuries and everything that has happened during the time, you know, that he's been with the Clippers, and, you know, just not really being able to get over that hump. What I've heard, Tyronn Lue definitely wants Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both to really take the regular season more seriously. And of course, a lot of that as well depends on health, if these guys can stay healthy. Because if this Clippers team can stay healthy just for 1 year, for crying out loud, we know they can make a deep playoff run. You know, this is a team that on paper, as we've said before, is a championship level team. But, you know, this season can go 2 ways. You know, either they can make a deep playoff run, and if they do, then maybe you can still possibly run it back with this roster again. But I believe that if they have another sprout of health issues and being able to basically not make a deep playoff run in that sense, I believe that it's time to really wrap up this era for the Clippers. Because, you know, the owner, Steve Ballmer, has spent so much money as well on trying to make this team a championship level roster. And on top of that, your guys, they have not been able to consistently stay healthy. And if they do it again this next year, it really doesn't make much sense, in my opinion, to run it back with the same team. As we all know, they're getting a new arena. Many things will change for the Clippers. But when you look at it, and look at example for teams like the Portland Trail Blazers, you know, when they had Damian Lillard on the roster, well, I can say Damian, he's still on the team. But when they had those runs, when they were making it into the playoffs, you can tell they kind of already knew, in the sense that they weren't probably going to get this opportunity again. And I feel like the Clippers, in a sense, it could be the same thing. They know that they can go into rebuilding mode and trade away all these pieces and get good draft picks and things of that nature to, you know, really elevate their rebuilding process. But they know that this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, in a sense, to get some of the top 15, 20 best players on the planet on your basketball team. Not to mention have a really good roster, even though some of the guys are low-key overpaid, I'm not going to lie. But they have the chance still to do something great. And, you know, it's just been unfortunate events each and every single year for them not being able to compete and, you know, go for an NBA championship. Also, you too have to look at the perspective of that, you know, even if teams do trade for Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, they still have to possibly deal with the fact that these guys may not be consistently healthy throughout an 82-game season and possibly going as well into the playoffs, which has been the case over these last few years while they've been on the Clippers. And of course, that does kind of put a detriment on the trade value that they do have in a sense. And when you look at, the new CBA and the contracts that are going to be going through in the next few years, the whole landscape of the NBA is basically going to be changing. Rosters are going to be built, are going to be slightly different, and just things are going into a new direction for them. And hopefully, like I said, this is really the last year, in my opinion, that the Clippers can really do something. And if not, you just don't know what to really do at that point. I would honestly consider the possibility of trading, either Kawhi or Paul George for assets, but I know it's not going to be that easy. When you look at the talent of a Kawhi Leonard and a Paul George, for crying out loud, you want a lot in return for guys like that, but many teams may not be able to offer them what they want. I mean, the same thing is basically happening right now. You think about it with the Damian Lillard trade situation as well. And I know as well for the Clippers that, James Harden was wanting to go there for a while and things of that nature, and he's said I'm going to the Clippers. I don't think, obviously, that would have really worked out as well. Adding him to a team that has already shown us that they can't really stay healthy. But like I've said that quite a bit in this video. But that is really the number one thing that is going on for this team. And, I just remember when this whole trade happened, when Paul George, when he got traded to the Clippers and Kawhi signed there, it was just a big deal at the time. And they were, playing like the best team in basketball their first year when they were all healthy, and then the bubble came and just things kind of just changed everything. It was just totally different landscape. But, I just hope that this year for the Clippers that we can actually see them actually take that next level up as Kawhi Leonard's coming back fully healthy and Paul George coming back fully healthy. We can see what they can actually do for hopefully, a full 82-game season. I'm not saying they're going to play all 82 games, but if they can and they can go out and, get even greater chemistry and really go out into the playoffs and make a deep run, we could see something possibly different for this Clippers team. But let me know down in the comment section below, what would you do in the scenario for this Clippers team? Because right now, it's really either or, really, because, they can have a good year and run it back possibly, or they can really just blow this whole thing up and just start over and do a rebuild. Let me know down in the comment section below what you would do in this scenario. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every single week. Have a great day. Peace.